Some people think All Hallows Eve is just for fun and games. Well, allow me to explain. One night a year, the spirits come alive to tickle your fear. Let me be clear. Spider webs, severed heads, it's the dawning of the dead. Ghosts are spawning, demons calling you from underneath your bed. Halloween will make you run, make you scream, deep into the darkness of the night. Halloween will make you live out your worst dreams, deep into the darkness of the night. Here come the vampires, fiending for your blood. There's no escape, they're here to stay, so let them have their fun. Well, your world is falling down. Wicked witches, evil clowns, killer zombies take the town tonight. Spider webs, severed heads, it's the dawning of the dead. Ghosts are spawning, demons calling you from underneath your bed. Halloween will make you run, make you scream, deep into the darkness of the night. Yeah, Halloween will make you live out your worst dreams, deep into the darkness of the night. Oh, Halloween, it's Halloween. People panicked, what a sight, terrorized and horrified. Halloween, it's Halloween. I'm only joking, don't be scared. Leave your houses if you dare on Halloween.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to the show. Apologies for kind of feeling like it's a bit hectic right now. I've been very busy the last couple of weeks over something that I'm not going to be able to talk about tonight, but very soon. I do promise that. So how is everyone doing before we start? I would like to thank some of our patrons for the support of the channel, given that you guys are practically the only source of financial support amongst the channel. So let's get down to reading some of the names. The congratulations, people involved. Give me a sec to pull up a list. Let's see. Thank you for patrons: OmegaVanity, Peetza, Scotty O'Hare, TheCuteCat, Tailfin, Docta Fill, JennyRannila, and Bravo74. Bravo74. Excuse me. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Feel free to share around the stream, get some people involved, get some people to know what we're going to talk about tonight, because I do feel that talking about this is actually kind of important. Can you turn up your audio? Let me see. I'm at my maximum currently. Let me mess around with the specs. It's a hardware thing. Give me a minute.
All right. Well, how's it going, guys? While he's doing that, I hope everybody's having a fantabulous day.
Hello there.
Hello.
Sounds a little bit better, but not as much as I would. Give me a second.
Okay. Good.
Hello there, everyone. Hello. Does it sound a little better? There we go. Let's see. Let's go around the block. Aruzar, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. Why am I not surprised? Jesus. Oh no, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But I think it's probably the way that's being handled is probably the best way we're gonna see it ever change. Hi Kaz from Teacher, Irish Warrior, Godzilla, Voidcat, Floppy, Tailfin, Ubo the Mad Jester, Masked Bear, Red Rose Spark, Bravo. Hello there, Bravo. Hello there, everyone.
We got a lot of good party peoples and a lot of regulars too. It's fucking awesome.
Hello there, Adam Haywood. How you doing? Silver Fox, welcome to the show. Lunar Phoenix says hi. Hello there, Abby. Hello there, Abby. Fuck, I can't type. Neither can I. I will be honest in that regard. I am kind of retarded.
Well, so is Alex Jones.
Yeah, but Alex Jones is based. We can't talk shit about that. I'm joking.
Oh fuck no! I'm a huge fan of Alex. Like if Alex, if you're listening to this live stream, which isn't likely, we would love to have you on.
All right. Look, we got Gentleman Zay. Hello there, Kaz. Hello there. CC. Hello. Welcome to the show, CC. We got a lot of people. I think we have a lot of the somewhat newer ones kind of turned regular because I see your faces get a lot the last couple of months. So welcome to the show, all forms of regulars.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So we're going into it's a bit of a gamble of a topic. We do have bonus things to talk about because YouTube's title system is kind of gay. So there's a bit more to talk about than you would expect. And there's some things I'm going to have to save for the next stream, which will be very soon, on a certain kitty you guys know about. I heard a certain Gobble Gobble's been talking about him too. I think you get my son of Psyops. Hello.
Oh. I know that this one's going to be a little bit off cuff, but could I say a public message real quick?
Go ahead, sure.
Okay. To a certain speed gamer, bro, if you really think that Cass can't do like That way people can clip me and just send it to them.
Okay.
If you really think that he's not doing a good job at the shit that we're doing, you can please, by all means, either come on the stream or outdo him, like do better than him, or just shut the fuck up. All right, yeah, that was about it.
Absolutely. Speed Gamer got called the fuck out. Unexpected. Ooh. I wonder how he's gonna handle that fucking, sucker punch. Will he spurg or will he be a man? The choice is yours. You can vote on that.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that part.
Oh god, when I'm fully rested, I sound a lot better. Anyway. Oh boy, more dumb shit with Court Kitty. Lovely. Oh, there's some deets. New shit. I ain't getting it tonight, but it's relatively public, and we'll get into it much later during this week. I just thought I would tell you guys that, because I would rather be transparent about where we're going with this. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about a couple of situations primarily involving the realm of Twitter. Yes, the land of cancellations, the land of screaming, and apparently a land of child pornography. I wish I was fucking joking. But for the regulars of the show, you would know that this is not a surprise. I've actually talked about it more than a couple of times before, just to be spiteful. And as it has happened before, as it turns out, there's actually been quite a few updates involving the story of Twitter. There's apparently more investigations being made into the subject, because as it's been discovered, Twitter still hasn't solved the child pornography problem. Like, at all. Not that I would be surprised, but it has managed to create some consequences. And we're going to talk about that. I got the article right here, actually. So let's just go ahead and delve right into it, shall we? Let's get this set up correctly. There we go. From the sorry, I can't pronounce the article of this name, but it's right there through its company name. You can find it pretty easily. I'll link it in the chat. You guys can look at this yourself. Will be linked in the Discord, as I always use my Discord as a good source of stuff. So if you ever feel like, hey Kaz, I want to join your community, here's a link. It will only be as active as long as the server is. The stream. Apologies. Here you go. Let's talk about being a retard. Good example. So let me just link this to you guys real quick before we really get into the story. Feel free to join the Discord server if you haven't at any time. Twitter's latest problem. And that's the article's name. Twitter's latest problem. Ads of major brands next to child porn. Oof. Now that's a fucking oof if I haven't, heard of any. So several firms have suspended marketing campaigns because their ads appeared on Twitter accounts peddling child porn. September 28th, 2022. As the article was released, some major investors, including Tyson, Mendeza, I don't know how to pronounce that, excuse me, chemical companies, Ecolab, have suspended their marketing campaigns or removed their ads from part of Twitter because of their promotions are appearing alongside Twitter's tweets soliciting child pornography for the companies told from retours, or however you pronounce that. Ads for at least 30 brands ranging from Walt Disney, Comcast Corp, NBCU, Universal, and Coca-Cola to a children's hospital have appeared on profile pictures of Twitter accounts that peddle links to explicit material, according to a Reuters review of accounts identifying in new research about child sex abuse online from cybersecurity group Ghost Data. So, as you would expect, This isn't only digged in by a bunch of companies seeing this as an anecdotal evidence. This is actually an example of a cybersecurity company forking over data about the situation. Some tweets, including keywords related to rape and teens, and appeared alongside promoted tweets from corporate advertisers, the Reuters reviews. In one example, a promoted tweet for shoe and accessories brand Full Hands appeared next to a tweet in which users said they were trading teen/child content. That's a giant oof. Fucking yikes. I think you guys would absolutely agree. We're horrified, David Madlock, brand president at Full Hand, told Redditor after being notified that the company ads appeared alongside such tweets. Either Twitter is going to fix this, or we fix it by any means we can, which includes not buying Twitter ads. Ooh, seems like Twitter's facing some fucking consequences.
Oh, no. You see, this is just all just a new tweet. You know?
Mhm.
It'll all...
Another example.
Fuck, I can't say that with a straight face.
Absolutely. In another example, a user tweeted searching for content of young girls only, no boys, which was immediately followed by promoted tweets for text-based Scottish for children as possible. Holy shit. Scottish Rite did not return multiple requests for comment. That's probably the last thing they want to see. In a statement, Twitter spokesperson Soledad Parswell said the company had zero tolerance for child sex exploitation, which is investing more resources dedicated to children's safety, including hiring for new positions to write policies and implement solutions. She added that Twitter is working closely with its advertiser clients and partners to investigate and take steps to prevent the situation from happening again. Funny how they now care because advertisers are upset. Who would have thunk? Twitter challenges in identifying child abuse content were first reported in an investigation by tech news site Verge in late August. The emerging pushback from advertisers that are critical to Twitter's revenue stream has been reported by Redditors for time. Adult content permitted. All social media platforms, Twitter bans depictions of children's sexual exploitation. Well, in paper, not by practice. That's a completely different thing. Which are illegal in most countries, but it permits adult content generally and is home to a thriving exchange of pornographic imagery, which comprises about 13% of all content on Twitter, according to internal company documents seen by Redditors. Twitter declined to comment on the volume of adult content on the platform. Not that I would be remotely surprised. Ghost data identifies more than 500 accounts that openly shared or requested child sexual abuse material across a 20-day period this month. Twitter failed to remove more than 70% of the accounts during the study period. According to the group, which shared the founding exclusively with Reuters could not independently confirm the accuracy of ghosting. Finding in full, it reviewed dozens of accounts that remained online and were soliciting material for 13+ and young-looking nudes, as quoted. After Reuters shared a sample of 20 accounts with Twitter, the company removed about 300 additional accounts from the network, but more than 100 will still remain on the site the following day, according to Ghost Data and Reuters review. Reuters then shared the full list of more than 500 accounts. It was furnished by Ghost Data, which Twitter reviewed and permanently suspended for violating its rules, said Twitter's as well. Andrea Strepa, if that's how you pronounce the name, the founder of Ghost Data, said the study was an attempt to assess Twitter's ability to remove the material. He said he personally funded the research after receiving a tip about the topic. Twitter suspended more than 1 million accounts last year for child exploitation material, according to company's transparency report. And it has resulted in absolutely fucking nothing. What a shock. There is no place for this type of content online, a spokesperson for carmaker Mendoza USA said in a statement to Reuters, saying that in response, the company is now prohibiting its ads from appearing on Twitter pages. Profile. Disney spokesperson said that the content is irreprehensible and said they are doubling down on our efforts to ensure that the digital platforms in which we advertise and the media buyers that we use strengthen their efforts to prevent such errors from recurring. A spokesperson for Coca-Cola, which had a promoted tweet, appeared on an account tracked by the researchers, that it did not condone the material being associated with its brand, and said any breach of these standards is unacceptable and taken very seriously. NBC Universal said it has asked Twitter to remove the ads associated with inappropriate content. Let's see. Elon Musk is trying to back out of his deal to buy Twitter over spam accounts and impact on business. We already know about that one. Is my microphone being a little bit gay? What's going on? Probably is. I don't know if I can fix that, by the way, guys. I'll try to fix it if I can. Ministra said, "Thanks for covering this. Gays against groomers has been pretty much ignored by the mainstream media, as well as being banned off social media. Thanks, guys." Well, yeah, absolutely. That's why we're going to talk about them. Let's see. Twitter is hardly alone in grappling with the modernization failures related to child safety online. Child welfare advocates says that the number of child sex abuse images has soared from thousands to tens of millions in recent years, as predators have used social media networks, including Meta's Facebook, Instagram, to groom victims and exchange explicit material. For the accounts identified by Ghost Data, nearly all of the traders of child sex abuse material marketed on the material on Twitter and then instructed buyers to reach them on messaging service apps such as Discord or Telegram in order to complete payment and receive files, which are then stored on hosting platforms like New Zealand-based Mega and US-based Dropbox, according to group reports. A Discord spokesperson said the company had banned one server and one user for violating the rules against sharing links or content that sexualizes children. Well, just one. That's kind of rather disappointing, knowing the history of Discord. Yeah, it might be the internet tonight, guys. Apologies. Do I sound fine, by the way? Bash? Let me know.
You're coming through on my end pretty well. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm just walking around, got a kiddo and everything.
It's fine, It's probably YouTube being gay then. Because package streaming on OBS's end is actually perfectly just fine. Weird. Anyway, apologies. Let's just keep going. Still, the reaction, let's see. Mega said a link referred to in the Ghost report was created in early August and soon after deleted by the user, which is declined to identify, it declined to identify. Mega said it permanently closed the user's account 2 days later. Well, the damage is usually done at that point. Dropbox and Telegram said they were using a variety of tools to moderate content, but did not provide additional details as to how they would respond to the report. Still, the reaction from advertisers poses a risk to Twitter's business, which earns more than 90% of its revenue by selling digital advertising placements to brands seeking to market products to the service's 237 million daily active users. Twitter is also battling in court, which put Tesla CEO and billionaire Elon Musk, who is attempting to back out of the $44 billion deal to buy the social media company, over complaints about the prevalence of spam and its impact on business. A team of Twitter employees concluded in a report dated February 2021 that the company needed more investment to identify and remove child pornography material at scale, noting the company had a backlog of cases to review for possible reporting to law enforcement. Well, at quote, while the amount of child exploitation content has grown exponentially, Twitter's involvement in technologies to detect and manage the growth has not, according to the report, which was prepared by the internal teams to provide an overview about the state of child exploitation material on Twitter and receive legal advice on the proposed strategy. Unquote. Reports about Twitter provided an outdated, reports about Twitter provided an outdated moment in time glance at just one aspect of her work in the space and is not an accurate reflection of your. Well, that's a lot of bullshit.
Oh no. You see, Cass, they're too busy. You see, they have 3 wheelbarrows full of money, and if they give half of that, then that's less money for money fights that they have in their executive offices.
Yeah, let me check real quick. What's the problem with that? Let's see real quick. That's the issue. Okay, well, everything seems to be fine. Excellent connection. The OBS is actually responding with excellent results. So, maybe YouTube just might be a bit of an ass today.
Susan, quit fucking with him. Or, I mean, it could be because, like, all of the Teslas around your area all needing charged and them trying to go into green energy or some shit.
Perhaps. Recent reports about Twitter provided an outdated. Oh, I already read that. The traffickers often use code words such as CP for child pornography. Well, I mean, that's not even really a coded word. Everyone knows what it is. And are intentionally as vague as possible to avoid detection, according to the internal documents. That the more that Twitter cracks down on certain keywords, the more that users are nudged to use obfuscated text, which tends to be harder for Twitter to automate against, the document says. Ghost Data, Drapa, said that such tricks would complicate efforts to hunt down the material, but noted that his small team of 5 researchers and no access to Twitter's internal researchers was able to find hundreds of accounts within 20 days. Twitter did not respond to a request further. Well, there you have it. We have a multitude of. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that our team here had up to with the project that we did against Twitter on the hashtags that I'm not gonna say the hashtags because but yeah, with the hashtags that we did, we had over 80 bans on Twitter, and it's fucking retarded how easily it is to fucking find. Like, you remember in the old days of the internet, whenever that shit was actually just on Tor?
Yeah. It was definitely a different time when on the internet you can just like it was something that Tor was known for. You would just hear about that type of stuff, and oftentimes they would go out of their way to there was a lot of law enforcement still involved dealing with that on the website as we speak. Not website, the program Tor, because it still happened.
Yeah, but now they're on fucking Facebook, Twitter, Discord. God forbid that you have like some racy shit in your server. Let's hyper focus on that shit. But You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Mr. Billy Ice Cream over there that's, fondling fucking a 13-year-old. Oh, that's fun for the whole family. This is okay.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that where you can't talk about stuff specifically. You might be a bit too mean, a bit too angry, a bit too far out there, right? That's the argument they usually pull out of their ass. That's the argument they
Yeah.
usually pull out of their ass every time they get mad. Also, I hope you guys are checking the microphone. I hope it's working. Might be a little bit of some hardware issues going on. I do apologize for technical difficulties. Happens sometimes. Anyway,
I mean, I'm sure that it'll be okay, like whenever it's recorded. So,
well, I mean, it could
hopefully.
also be the fact that my voice sounds like I kind of dropped some balls recently. Anyway, for the people joining the server, feel free to go to the doorbell option and fill out the request form. That's how you join the server. Anyway, so it's a very interesting for a couple of reasons. One is the idea of Twitter facing a little bit of consequences for their actions, and of course, pretending like they never heard it was such an issue, and it was just a problem of, monitoring the channel, the website. But we all know the reality of the situation. It's because Twitter flat out doesn't give a shit.
Well, it's also plausible deniability.
Yeah, a lot of
At
absolutely plausible deniability is a big thing.
And for those that don't know what plausible deniability is in the chat, well, actually, we have some smart motherfuckers in chat, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But like plausible deniability is whenever you do things, but you're not completely responsible because it's not that you're doing it directly, I guess would be the best way to explain it without just getting out the definition.
Yeah. No, I think I can trust my audience enough to know what that type of word is. That's completely fine. So, that is something I've noticed with Twitter, is, God forbid you say edgy stuff, but child porn, that's completely fine.
Alright, I'm gonna mute real quick, and I'm gonna just do a sound check to check up on your live stuff.
Okay. So, by the way, chat, that is a very particular, interesting situation to consider. Perhaps Twitter is upset that they're facing consequences and must feel the need to clean up this mess before it's too late. What do you guys think? Press 1 if you think that Twitter is actually trying to fix the problem and is being as altruistic as possible. 2 if you believe that it's all full of shit and it's all just them covering their asses. Kinda want to see the votes on that. Yeah, I can't tell if it's a hardware problem or something else, but I did kind of fix the microphone to be a bit louder, and it seems like it is working, but I could be wrong. I'm willing to believe that.
I mean, like, I just listened to your entire rant there. I think you're sounding alright. Is it just 1 or 2 people in the chat that are saying that?
Well, it's more than a couple, apparently. So,
I don't know. It might be sus. There might be some people playing a prank on you.
probably. That or Susan's up to some games, because it does happen a few times in some weird circumstances. But anyway, we need to keep the show going.
Well, we got 2s. Got 2s in the chat.
Got 2s in chat. Absolutely good to hear. I think the chat's full of smart people. They can kind of see the bullshit for what it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, for the most part, like, I always tell people that the chat is the smartest people in the room because, like, it's a hive mind versus, just like some idiots like you and me. Like,
Before we
just
start,
by number.
however, let's engage with a little bit of small talk because I'm trying to check the original tweet that started this all. So give me a sec.
Yeah, I was kind of segueing that a little bit, Cass.
Yeah, I just thought I would say that because Twitter's fucking retarded for me. Can't work it too well.
Twitter is fucking retarded, and there are so many. You want to know how to not get banned on Twitter? Make a character with blue hair and rainbow eyes. You will never be fucking banned.
Oh, that's an understatement.
I have not had a ban or a kick from Twitter since.
Anyway, if you guys want to support the channel, feel free to like, subscribe, and share around the content. It would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Omnivore Teacher says, I'm trying not to focus on the sound quality too much. If I latch onto it, it'll trigger anxiety. Yeah, yeah. That's why we're just kind of trying to keep the ball rolling, man.
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate reality of streaming is that you don't always control when something goes wrong.
Oh, man. Did you hear about Paramore?
Paramore? What's up with that?
Okay, so this is an entirely unrelated note, but it is related into the sense of, like, sometimes you just don't know what's going on there. But, for Paramore, they made a live stream where it's been 5 years since they released an album, right? And they made a live stream announcing the album and even playing a song on the live stream. But what was fucked up about it is they were muted throughout the whole live stream. All of their fans were pissed. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah. The entire live stream of after fans waited 5 years, they were sitting there watching them play the music, but they couldn't hear it. Do you realize how fucking angering that would be? So yeah, I mean, we're only human, guys. So, like, just bear with us. Like, but we hope you enjoy the show anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Checking around real quick. See if I can get this to work properly. All right. So this happened at September 22nd of this year. Be aware that the only reason this is happening as we speak right now is because it's part of a larger drama revolving around censorship. It's actually gotten some news coverage in some places. Funny enough. So let's read what started this whole fiasco. From Gays Against Groomers, or otherwise known as GAG, just in, we're not allowed to conduct business on PayPal. Guess who is? An organization that offers a support group for maps. Twitter banned us for being against pedophilia, but allows actual pedophile groups to use their service unabated. Hashtag boycott PayPal. Yeah.
I say hashtag maps belong on walls. We're gonna get that trending eventually, damn it.
Doctor Fill says, I believe these advertisers are only pulling away from Twitter because of channels like this. Respect. I do kind of believe a little bit of that. There's only so much you can run away from public information until it's been talked about so much that you kind of have to acknowledge it. Which is kind of the point of channels like this. Channels like mine and others. Prostasia, or whatever you call that. I like to call them Prostadia. just to fuck with them. Itself seems like a fine organization to protect children, as said, but odd that such an organization would include a safe space for those who abuse them, but we digress, right? Initially, they were kind of being nice about it because they had no idea what this group's about. And then, after saying that, goes, after a bit more digging, it appears that Prostasia is not a fine organization, and seems to only care about, seems not to care about protecting children, but rather people that's sexually attracted to them. From Libs of TikTok, licensed counselor and sex therapist advocates for maps and minor attractive persons. She says that they are vilified and marginalized and shouldn't be referred to as pedophiles. And of course, the response to that on their Instagram is, yet again, a sex-positive professional is being dragged by right-wing Twitter for expressing views are controversial but correct. Interesting way of thinking. I wonder why they think that. We'll get into a little bit of that in a moment. Another one from their Instagram. Fact check. Did UK warn a woman for a video that was untoward about pedophiles? False. It was a transphobic hate video that misgendered and used pedophilia only as a smear against trans women. Well, that sounds rather problematic. Oh, but what is this? Looks like Shoe on Head did a deep dive into the very creepy pedophile organization. Watch. According to Shoe on Head, reporting in this video, Prostasia is fighting for the legalization of child sex dolls, as well as abolishing the entire sex offenders registry. Child protection organization, unquote. These people are allowed on PayPal, but we're not. That is an interesting point.
It's just a reminder that they're on the child sex offender registry, and they're not allowed to have guns. So, yeah.
Well, what we're going to do to prove the case, as currently I've been busy with other stuff, and I would rather just show you the content at this point in conjecture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you bits and pieces of Shoes on Head's video if you personally haven't seen it yourself. If you haven't, then feel free to follow this link I'm going to drop in the comments if you want to see it for yourself.
And Shoe on Head, fucking great work. We would love to have you on if you ever have the time.
Yeah, I think she does a fantastic job with the Chris Hansen angle because she's actually kind of looking into this stuff. I would say the video that we're going to look into is kind of indicative of that. Kind of a good example.
Well, I mean, I've been watching that sphere since she was around Armored Skeptic, so.
Yeah. All right, let's watch this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Sex offender registry. Well, let's talk about who runs Prostasia, shall we? Who is behind this organization? In May 2020, somebody asked the founder of Prostasia, Jeremy Malcolm, if they accepted self-admitted pedophiles as volunteers. Jeremy Malcolm replied, "We don't make a policy of asking people about their sexuality before they are allowed to volunteer."
Well, that escalated quickly.
Their sexuality. Right. The Council of Ghouls consists of convicted sex offender Guy Hamilton Smith.
Let's see, registry type, 20-year. Complaint. Supervised release, no. Okay, male. Sex offender, 14171. Let's see. Shit. This one doesn't really explicitly say what crime, but the other one does.
And they also had convicted sex offender Jeff White.
Oh, okay. Damn, this is a lot more. Name is Jeffrey Allen White. Okay. Location, age 24. Processing date 2012. Booking charges is female sex, criminal and sexual conduct. Sexual conduct, 2-degree victim under 13 years at 36-year-old male. There you go.
on board for a while. So I think we figured out why they want to get rid of the sex offender registry. By the way, when a family lawyer called into question Jeff White's sketchy history of, child diddling, the family lawyer received threats from Jeremy Malcolm, the founder, that basically said, "You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. Capiche?" And after that, they apparently stopped disclosing who works for them. They stopped disclosing the staff, the volunteers. It's just a big mystery now. But don't worry, it's not all convicted sex offenders. They also have clinical psychologist Dr. James Cantor, who had to say this.
"Speaking as a gay man, I believe we should include the P. To do otherwise is to betray the principles that give us our rights."
Happens every single time, doesn't it? Hey guys, let's compare it to gays. That's totally not a problem.
For the last f***ing time. Gay. Male. Male. Lesbian. Female. Female. Bi. Female. Male. Pedophile. Adult. Child. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with sexuality. Children can be male or female. Pedophiles can be straight, gay, bi, as the CEO of bisexuality. But I know this is a weak comparison, but seriously, this would be like making any one of my sick fetishes part of the LGBTQ alphabet. Yeah guys, we need to add S to LGBT. Lesbian, gay, bi, trans, spit in my mouth. It's not how that works.
You can't sit with us!
But they also had a nice woman named Sheila who worked with them for a little while, and she had this to say on Christmas, December 2019.
"Merry Christmas to everyone, including the Nepophiles, pedophiles, hebephiles, and ebahebephiles who have to put up with people like blank, virtue signaling and perpetuating stigma every single day of the year."
Now, if you are a normal person, and therefore you do not know what a nepophile is, a nepophile is someone who is attracted to babies. Hold on one second.
Yeah, so, that is a thing. So, this weird map organization likes to, well, market itself. Let's put it kind of lightly. That it is some kind of advocacy group for pedophiles, and it's there to protect the children, and yada yada yada. But, and this is a huge but, they do not background check properly the people they hire into their organization. They're also tax exempt, and on top of it, they use it as a platform to scream and cry and whine about other people who disagree with them. And it's rather funny when you think about it, because so far, at least that's the claim, that they're still operating on PayPals, at least for a time. There is an update contradicting that because of what I assume might be the backlash in results. So give me just a quick, we're going to find that alt tweet because I literally saw that before I fucked with it. Yeah. So welcome to that, it's very, very fucking interesting. This is the world we live in, guys. This is the fucking world we live in. This is why we are fucked as a species. Alright, oh yeah, here we go. Not a fan of Shu, but she's right on this one. Yeah, I don't really care much for the Politisper content in general, but I can kind of respect people who talk about the pedo stuff and do a good job at it. That's a...
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't agree completely with Shoe on Head, but at the same time, I can say she does good work. Like, from like a content creator's perspective,
Yeah.
she does excellent work, and now she's going into the sphere where we've been, and it's she's holding her own.
Yep.
She's doing well.
Oh, sorry. I think actually no, we can go with that a little bit. You can read. If you guys can't read that, then by all means tell me. Let's see. Editor notes, after publication of this article, The Blaze has learned that PayPal and Venmo donations buttons on the Prostasia Foundation's website appeared defunct. A spokesperson for Prostasia issued the following statement. PayPal has caved to a misinformation campaign today, bullshit, by denying access to financial services to child protection organization Prostasia Foundation. Prostasia is an expert and survivor-led organization dedicated to the prevention of child sex abuse. Part of our mission includes countering misinformation against marginalized communities such as the LGBTQ+ people, sex educators, and prevention professionals who are falsely smeared as groomers or pro-pedophilia. We oppose the hateful agenda of groups who spread such harmful smears. At the same time, we express our serious concern about the lack of transparency and accountability that PayPal shows towards customers of all political views, especially those who are the most marginalized. Prostasia, sorry, that name fucks up my fucking speech pattern, thanks its diverse members and donors for their support, and reaffirms our commitment to continuing our stigma-free prevention mission. Okay, so let me put this for you guys who haven't heard enough about this group. What they just said as a whole is pure, unadulterated bullshit. They are not an expert group. They are not led by survivors of sexual abuse, not to my knowledge. They are run and hosted and supported by literal convicted child molesters. And on top of it, they are not certified. None of their members of their community are certified by any psychological, medical, or any form of certification relating to psychology, psychopathy research, criminology, or any form of just general science and medical practices. They are not a professional group. That is a fucking lie and a half. And they are spinning this like they are the victims because they claim that some of their members might be sexual abuse survivors. I don't know if that's entirely true, but so far, the pickings of information and the offerings for the hunt have shown otherwise. The information has shown a consistent pattern of them not necessarily hiring the victims of sexual abuse, but hiring the perpetrators. So that's not exactly true. Either way, this is what they're going to say. A spokesperson for PayPal said the company had taken action against accounts that violates its acceptable use policy. Unquote, PayPal has a long-term standing and consistent acceptable use policy. We take action when we deem that individuals or organizations have violated this policy per company policy. PayPal does not disclose specific account information for current or former customers. A PayPal spokesperson told The Blaze. This article was updated on Wednesday, September 28th, 2022 at 2:80 p.m. EST. Original story below, and as they say, this reads a little bit of it. An update after shared after Gays Against Groomers was permanently banned from using PayPal, and the anti-sexual group revealed that the PayPal processing company permits groups that support pedophilia to use its services. So it talks about some of the shit that happened earlier before the update. But see, that begs the question, does it not? To you, the chat, to you, the people, I want you to hear what you think about the situation. Do you think that they're actually trying to solve the problem here? Or is it all full of shit? So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's very funny to watch these companies ally themselves with such bullshit. So, here's what I think. happened. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think PayPal started to realize that they fucked up here. I think they started to realize that they fucked up by going after gays against groomers because of the optics involved, and decided to protect their asses by trying to appear impartial by getting rid of both parties and failing to reinstate the original offense, the original decision. So, as you would expect, as Twitter and other companies do when they're caught with their pants down, they tend to, well, let's just say, they tend to, well, you know, backtrack a little bit. Breaking. Pedophile support group Prostasia founder loses access to PayPal following our complaints. Win, but still boycott PayPal. They still haven't reinstated our account, not that would ever use them again. So, there you go. Now, honestly, I think the subject of gays against groomers is pretty interesting for a couple of reasons. One is it's a group focused on the LGBT community and trying to get rid of predators and groomers off of the community, at least as that is their mission statement. I haven't seen anything that's really contradicting that. The last time I talked about them was on the Twitter stream about a certain word being banned. We'll talk about that in a sec because of this type of shit. And it's rather interesting because anytime these people try to function as a group, they get punished by everyone, including people who claim to be members of their own community, which I find that to be rather strange. You would think that a group of people entirely comprised of LGBT members would be heavily supported by the larger whole of many groups and financial agencies, as I think the average person would say that pedophilia is a bad thing. But apparently, as time goes on, they seem to, well, it kind of looks like they're picking a bit of a side here, aren't they? And it doesn't seem exactly for the better. Let me go. So, oh god, here's another one. We're gonna read into this. Oh boy. You're gonna fucking love this. Four things you should know about pedophilia from Prostratia Foundations from Denir McLaughlin. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that horribly. But then again, since they're weirdos, I probably wouldn't, go out of my way to support it too much. As a joke. Yeah, I'm gonna intentionally mispronounce their names at this point. Pedophilia is an outdated term. Apparently it's outdated. In the same way that an Abrams tank is outdated. Huh, that's weird. Who would have thought that terms would be equivalent to military hardware? I guess, somebody over there doesn't really, understand what the word outdated usually is used for. Or they could be intentionally screwing up some lines here. I'll let that, be your guys' decision. Pedophilia is one of the most stigmatized words in the English language. It's almost like there's a reason for it. Because it has become synonymous with child molestation in the popular imagination. The notion of a pedophile incurs images of persons capable of doing what for many is the most horrendous and unthinkable act, sexually harming a child. And the visceral reaction that elicits can be hostile and even aggressive. They deserve to be tortured, some say. Death is too easy, others say. It is a nervous reaction, response to flight. However, even when we're permitted for flight or fight we can't think clearly. Executive function, it just isn't available to us when our nervous system is symptomatic responses. Why does language matter here? In common parlance with words, pedophilia is almost without exception used interchangeably with the term child molester. Well, I mean, that's almost like Midnight Rave, thank you for subscribing. You know, it's almost like the word pedophile has a reason to have that connotation. It's not a narcissist response. It's based. Absolutely. I would say throwing them in a wood chipper is pretty based. Wouldn't you guys agree? I'm sure you will. Let's see. Most stigmatized words. Why does language matter here? It's almost without exception used interchangeably with the term child molester. Almost like that's kind of the point. I mean, who would molest a child? Someone who's into one. Though technically accurate in describing a attraction to minors. Okay, it's not technically accurate. It's either that it is or it isn't. In describing an attraction to minors, it's almost impossible to press out this definition from cultural meaning. Okay, that's interesting. So he wants to purge the meaning out from humanity. I wonder why. It's almost like there's some type of agenda at play. Definition from the cultural meaning. Therefore, the term pedophilia has been replaced more recently with the term minor attracted person or MAP, while describably accurate. It does not. On the subject of pedophilia, one of the biggest misconceptions is the notion that it's symptomatic with child molestation. A very simplified definition of pedophilia describes an emotional, romantic, or sexual attraction to children, and that's not really simplistic. That's practically what it fucking is. That's to the point. Now pause, take a breath, notice any visceral reaction that you may have to these words, note that you're feeling, and then read on it. A little bit of gaslighting. The above paragraph describes attraction. It does not describe the crime of child sexual abuse. But everyone knows exactly why the consequence of pedophilia is sexual abuse. Sorry, but a child cannot consent to this shit. So in no procedure would that be okay. As a matter of fact, pedophiles comprise a minority and not the majority of those who commit sexual offenses against children. Yes, you read it right here. Most people between who sexually are not. Of course, I've seen this type of quote research study. It's kind of been debunked 1,000 times already, so I'm not going to really get into that. We've already had that discussion in that Cassandra Mill debate, so I'm not going to start now. But you understand what I mean. I swear this is ridiculous. Pedophilia should not be something that people argue over. It's not like taxes or labor where there is some nuance we're talking about, but the safety of children. This shit is why I despise academia. Yeah, it is pretty concerning, isn't it? This is why we need to get a concentration camp for those freaks of nature. You forget, Jennifer, pedophiles aren't people. Absolutely, they are not people. How does this make sense? Like sexual assault is an adult population. Child abuse is not primarily a crime of attraction. It's one of power, control, and opportunism. Okay, well, I mean, who would possess the desire to do that to a child in the first place? It's still a pedophile. But that doesn't change the definition. So, as you would expect, this group that tries to play virtuous at pretending to be a group to protect children is just LARPing like a motherfucker. And Gays Against Groomers got punished for no other reason than being a community full of gay people who want to call out the online degeneracy that infects all communities. Now, I know there'll be some people who come at me with angry typing amongst their keyboard, screaming profusely as their blue hairs start to burn into a pitch black of anger because their head is so hot that it turns everything around into charcoal. Screaming, but Kaz, you have to understand. You have to fucking understand, Kaz. Pedophiles are not part of the LGBT. Well, in that case, you are correct. However, every community has and will always will have predators within it. Because pedophiles are like a cancer. And sometimes the only way to fix it is to just burn shit. We got to have some chemo fucking therapy. And a lot of the ways that this happens is that communities, some of them, get more infected with pedophiles worse than others. And that's the issue, isn't it? The problem nowadays in many communities, may you be gamer, furry, brony, LGBT, or some other kin freak that unironically thinks you're a dog or something, you tend to notice a particular problem. And that is some communities are so open-minded that the infection rate of pedophiles and dogfuckers is actually quite high. And ignoring the problem, ignoring the therapy, is always going to lead to more disaster. So I think Gays Against Groomers is essentially just another factor of an attempted chemotherapy against the rising cancer within every community, including, in this case, the LGBT. The problem, however, is at the end of the day, that is a problem that we all have to face. No community is safe from predators. It must take a concerted effort of people willing to call out things for what it is to achieve it. To tell you, to put information out there about the reality of the situation. By punishing people like Gays Against Groomers over petty squabbles and politics and mean words and them calling out the dark reality of things and you feeling uncomfortable, does not protect the children in your community. It only makes things worse. JennyRannila says, it's also a big problem with why the LGBT community has such a big problem with pedophiles, is that they never actually have the balls to weed out bad apples. Absolutely. Lots of communities have a bad thing with that in general, and some are worse about that than others. Absolutely. This is why communities need to be on a watch for pedophiles. There definitely seems to be a concerted effort of people who just either do not want to acknowledge the problem or actively maybe support some of it. Now, I'm not saying that anyone who's going to be mad at specific groups are supporting that shit, nor am I saying that the LGBT is actively supporting that shit either. But there's usually a saying about what happens when you let the insane people run the asylum. It tends to ruin everything they touch. So keep that in mind. Oh. So let's go with a bonus round. We got 2 bonus round articles. Just to prove a point. So this is an old article that Gays Against Groomers tweeted. And I think it's funny, so why not we actually read it? Okay. Yeah, hold on. Got some weird technical difficulties all of a sudden. Alright, let me just read it for you. 2 Texas brothers beat stepfather to death for abusing their sister. Many feel that anyone who sexually abused a child should be publicly humiliated and then brought to justice outside of the court system. Obviously, this isn't legal, but man, oh man, if only it was. 2 brothers and a friend in southern Texas are being publicly applauded after they were arrested for beating their stepfather to death when they found out he sexually abused their 9-year-old sister. Advilar, Trevor, 18, Christian Trevino, 17, and Joanne, sorry if I'm pronouncing these names badly, 18, have all been arrested in the death of a 42-year-old Gabriel Quintanilla. the police received a call that a minor had been inappropriately touched at an RV park. It turned out that the minor is the daughter of the same father and the half-sister of Alexandria and Christian. When the two brothers and their friend found out, they confronted the dad, and a fight ensued. Gabriel was able to escape to fight, but two brothers and their friend followed him to an apartment complex where he was assaulted again. The two brothers and friend left the apartment complex and switched vehicles and drove back. They found him walking alone and was injured from the previous assault. The three boys assaulted him again a third time, this time with brass knuckles, which are legal to own in Texas, causing severe trauma to, well, as you would expect, their dad. The boys put him in the back of their truck and dumped him in the field at McAllen, where he was found by a farmer. All three boys were arrested, 18-year-old, and charged with the aggravated assault, organized criminal activity, blah, 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 aggravated family assault violence, capital murder, and engaging in criminal activity. 18 years old, was charged with capital murder, aggressive assault. Records also show that Gabriel had a warrant out for sexual abuse of a child and assault family violence. So this man had a history of this type of behavior. See, that is the... And let me just, like, put the article in here for you guys to read on your own shit. But the reason, from my knowledge, that's kept happening was because this dude, this guy was actively preying on kids. And so they got tired of it and decided to do something about it. So this wasn't like a random random thing. They didn't just randomly find out and then started attacking him. No, this was repeated behavior they knew about and decided to do something about it. And he had a record. Which is very fucking interesting because it really shows the incompetence of the police in that regard. Like, a record meant that they had a warrant and probably weren't able to act on it. But anyway, feel free to like, subscribe, and share around the content by all means. So we return back to Gays Against Groomers a little bit to say a few extra things before eventually logging off, because I find it very pertinent. Now, this woman, I forgot how her name is described particularly, so I'm not going to, was the same woman who wrote an article, or I don't know their pronouns, so excuse me there, I guess. So she had a history of trying to say, Reddit banned the word groomer some months ago, and she decided to say that Twitter should follow suit, in which they did. And then they said how apparently the word LGBT, sorry, the word groomer was an LGBT slur, anti-LGBT slur. This is what this woman said. She created a giant fiasco where people got mad, as you would expect, because you can't call out the groomers when, the groomers, the word is being censored, and so you can't call them out. And she's been entirely responsible for this. She also tried to get Gays Against Groomer banned off of Twitter at this point, what seems to be more than a couple of times. It's rather interesting how a lot of these people call themselves advocates. They have t-shirts saying, protect trans kids. But the first moment an actual organization wants to actually try to solve the problem, it instantly turns into smear campaigns and deplatforming. It's very fucking interesting, to say the least. I will definitely say that. Because it shows a sense of hypocrisy. It really does. Oh, and I forgot because I'm stupid. But let me show you this video on Twitter, as a response to the kids, the father and his death, after the kids and one friend did something about his ass. Let me try to fucking... Okay. Work, dude? What the fuck is going on here? Okay.
I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
As he just said, you fuck around, you find out. Absolute expertise. Mathematics. Absolutely based. Most certainly, their father did indeed fucked around and found out. As the saying goes, it is rather interesting to watch a bunch of weirdos pop in to try to censor those who want to call out degenerates online or in real life. There'll be a larger video on that subject in the future, but it is very interesting because it shows a lack of consideration for the truth and freedom of speech, and not only that, just in general, the protection of children, and a desire to have a healthy community without monstrous people who prey upon the weak. And unfortunately, that is just the unfortunate truth of the situation. That these communities need to better protect themselves against the predators, but a lack of conviction to do so makes them attack those who do have conviction to call out the monsters. It's like a snake that eats itself, really. It's such a contradictory survival mechanism, if there ever was one for a community. So, that's really about it for the major ones. I'm going to do one more story as a bonus, and there will be a video on that as well. Also, thank you, Slug, for the subscribe. Appreciate the support. Let's check around one more article that I think you guys would find very interesting to hear. Actually, yeah, hold on real quick. Let me go fucking look for that thing. I've had it, now I'm just like fucking misplacing stuff today. Like, man, today is not my fucking day. Give me a second, guys. Apologies. Oh, here we go. From a Twitter account that also seems to spend a lot of time exposing predators, which, top marks for that, by the way, open secret. Keep doing you. Michael Wayne Martin, 57, had over 1,000 DVDs containing videos of children being raped. He pleaded no contest. Just sentenced to only 180 days in Fresno, California. Interesting. Credit for 1 day served. Eligible for release in December. Now, let me put some math into you. Not too much, but I want you to understand. So, in America, you can end up easily going to jail for containing DVDs of child pornography. Not only that, by its own fact that you own this stuff in the first place as a illicit material, but you can go to jail for about maybe like 5 to 7 years per fucking frame. So, if the justice system was consistent, this guy, assuming immortality would ever be in his future as well as for the rest of us, this guy's sentence would be more equivalent to reliving all of humanity and watching the stars implode if his sentence was actually consistent. That would be his fate if the system happened to be consistent, but it's not. And for some interesting reasons. Also, that face, that's a face of a winner right there. That's a face of a winner, isn't it, chat? Straight to the wood chipper, do not pass go. Abso-fucking-lutely. Less than a year in jail for Fresno man who had child pornography videos from the Fresno Bee. Fresno Bee. So, detectives with a Valley Internet Crimes Task Force arrested Michael Martin of Fresno in May 2021 after discovering one of the largest collections of child pornography that they've ever come across in a closet in his house. A Fresno County judge sentenced Martin on Tuesday, September 20th, 2022, to spend 180 days in jail and registered as a sex offender. So there you go. A Fresno man had one of the largest collections of child pornography reported by local law enforcement. Will spend several months behind bars for the felony charged. Michael Wayne Martin, 57, was sentenced Tuesday to 180 days in jail, as well as 2 years of formal probation in order to register as a sex offender under California law. The sentence was issued by Fresno County Superior Court Judge Lennon Lemon. Martin was arrested in May 21 after detectives armed with a search warrant searched for his apartment discovered troves of more than 1,000 DVDs containing videos of children being raped, according to Fresno County Sheriff's Office news release issued after his arrest. Investigators reported that the videos, discs, and other materials, including electronic drives, and books full of explicit material and videos, were stacked to the ceiling in a closet in the apartment. Martin's attorney, Everest Scott Kenny, described that the information from the sheriff's department in the email to Fresno B was said while his client did have a lot more than 1,000 porn videos. They were all legal adult pornography, Kenny said, blah, blah, blah. Have a flash drive in his closet that had some child porn photos and several videos. The usual lawyer shit. Court records indicate that Martin had originally pleaded not guilty to a felony of charge of possession or control of child pornography, but earlier this year has changed to his plea deal to no contest, avoiding a trial. Court's officials said Martin, who had been free on bail, was ordered into custody at Fresno County Jail following the sentencing hearing. Kenny confirmed that Martin received credit for 1 day after already served in custody after his arrest. The Fresno County Sheriff's jail log indicates that Martin is eligible for release in December, also confirmed by Kenny. Martin's arrest was the result of investigation by the Central Valley Internet Crimes Against Children ICAC Task Force. The task force includes more than 64 federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies spread throughout 9 counties in California's Central Valley. It is aimed at protecting children online, investigating crimes committed against children that are facilitated by online and computer usage. So, after hearing that, they don't exactly reveal how they found out that this guy's a child molester, per se, like what got them to have a search warrant, but I could only guess that maybe since the people who got him was law enforcement specialized in online task force, as an online task force, I'm going to put my money on the idea that maybe this guy was probably cruising around Tor and started to download this shit and burn them into CDs. And that was probably why he got caught eventually. Anyone that knows anything about Tor knows that people like this would download stuff. So now the thing is about Tor is you don't download anything off of Tor, especially not directly. It takes forever, tends to fuck with the system. It just doesn't really work. And on top of it, even if it does work, you leave a huge trail of data behind because of the usage and how long it takes just to do that. So I'm going to assume this guy, being 57 at the time that he got caught, probably 58 now, he's probably, someone who's, probably saw some shit on Tor and probably downloaded it, maybe at some dealers. But then that really makes you question, right? Why 180 days, not 180 years? That would be more accurate as a punishment. I don't know what to tell you. It just seems like the court system itself is pretty awful. So in the case of the law enforcement doing their job, so good on them for doing their job in that regard, which is actually arresting the fucker. I'll give them that. This was more of the case of the court systems being completely retarded in how they deal with pedophiles. Not that I'm surprised. Seems to be a kind of a clusterfuck with law enforcement. If the law enforcement does their job, the court system fucks up. If the law enforcement doesn't do their job, well, no one cares anyway because there's not going to be a court hearing. It's just California, you know? The land of sandy beaches and forests on fire and, well, a certain EDP, a man called EDP, desperately looking for underbaked cupcakes. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the justice system is a bit flawed in California. But before we really move on and say our last pieces, I just want to show you what's been actually recorded from some of the pictures on some of the content that's been found here. So here's the literal fucking names of some of his tapes. Some legible from labels from Michael Wayne Martin's collection of 1,000 child pornography DVDs sentenced to the law. So as you can see right here, the names are East Boy Collection. This Virtual Boys 1. Sex Slaves of Sodom and Tales. Sex Slaves of Sodom. Jesus Christ. Fucking on the nose there, isn't it? But as you can fucking tell, it's pretty gross shit. Oh, it's absolutely gross. It's absolutely gross. And this is what this guy was doing. For shame. Given this is not entirely part of the video, and this is more of a bonus segment, I am interested in maybe talking about this through a small video, talking about the situation for those who don't catch the streams too often. I get you. So that might be a little video on its own. There's a few other articles that are going to be primarily video, so keep that in mind. That being said, however, it is kind of funny to me how, like, even with all of these systems and protections, you can't really rely on law enforcement to do their job all the time. Even if they did, it seems like people just get fucked. Either way, this was a relatively basic stream. I had a lot of other time with some other subjects that we will talk about very soon, but I figured that you guys enjoy the content, so I figured I might as well put the effort to keep putting information and content out there. We got some pretty interesting things coming out pretty soon. I do apologize for some of the weird random technical difficulties, as for some fucking reason, weird shit happens. Anyway, I hope to see you guys very soon, and before we end it all off, there'll be one more song to play for the ending of the stream. It's called There Was a Time from Scott Buckley. Good night, everyone. See you guys later.